Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aaron, also known as Az, or Azamon on this particular channel. Today I'm going to be going through one of my favourite cards from Kaldheim, and it is a land that appears in my Rakdos Demon Berserker's Bloodsky Massacre type deck. So you will see this deck at some point. I am still very much trying to get it as far as it can go on the standard ladder. It is very much a platinum tier deck. I'm in platinum tier 1. I got to platinum tier 1 today, this morning. So I think it could get to diamond, but I'm not sure how far it can get. So join me on a future stream to see if I do get any further and how far this deck can go. But yeah, it's a land that appears in that deck, and it is Immersturm Skullcairn. So there it is on screen now. So a bit of background on Immersturm first of all, so you get a bit of flavour as to why it's doing what it's doing. So Immersturm is one of the 10 realms of the plane of Kaldheim. Immersturm is a land of fire, demons, vampiric dragons and constant warfare, which is why I absolutely love it. It's pure Rakdos Aggro. As lightning crashes in the sky, demonic raiders, Immersturm raiders, sail flaming ships across burning seas, scouring the realm for routes into other realms they can pillage. So they're looking in their Immersturm sort of realm for sort of rips in reality to try and sort of cross over into other realms or other planes that they can loot and pillage. So they're pillagers, plunderers. The gods of Kaldheim have placed powerful runic wards around Immersturm to keep the demons trapped and prevent them from causing havoc elsewhere, but the wards aren't perfect, and it's only a matter of time until the demons find another way out, which they did. They absolutely found a way out when the Doomscar happened, so go and check out the Pass a Turn Into the Story series. The links will be in the description box below, where myself and Tom voice some characters and go through the Magic the Gathering stories as they appear. So, yeah, the demons did absolutely and utterly pour through the Doomscar portal. Immersturm never stops burning. The seas are made of fire and the sky is lit by a perpetual lightning storm. So this Immersturm has been dictated on Warstorm Surge, which is a card with loads of like Viking arts and stuff. I don't have it to flash up on screen. I should have done really, but it has been depicted on Warstorm Surge, and it was also a Plains Chase card. Back in the day, it was a Plains Chase card as well. So it's great to see the Immersturm and the demonic, hellish landscape being represented in Kaldheim, which is brilliant. And when I heard about Immersturm being first represented, I knew that it was going to be a set that I could get behind. And it just so coincided with the fact that I got into Arena, got into Standard, and just built an awesome deck that I love playing. And this obviously is one of the lands that appears in there. So the demons inhabit a bleak, mountainous landmass made of sharp, unforgiving black rock and pitted with burning craters. Noxious fumes, toxic to all but the demons, emit from the cracks and billow into the sky. There is no vegetation in Immersturm. The only wild animals are beasts formed of elemental flame that spring from the pits of fire. So I think this is what Immersturm Skullcairn is sort of depicting, is just chaotic bursts of energy. And let's read the card out so we can go into the mechanics of it and why it's so good. So it enters battlefield tapped. Doesn't really matter because in Black DOS, black and red, Rakdos, black and red, aggro, you don't really need a huge curve. So the tempo plays that it dictates with coming into the battlefield tapped isn't too bad. And you will find most of the time you will get one of these in the starting hand. So you can play it on the turn 1. We don't have any turn 1 plays in this deck, apart from Escape Velocity, which is a 1-drop, but obviously you can't enchant anyone's creatures with 1 drop on turn 1. So I digress. But yeah, enters battlefield tapped. Taps add a black. So it taps to add one of your colours in Rakdos. But what it can also do, you can pay 1, a black and a red, and tap it and sacrifice it, and it deals 3 damage to target player. That player discards a card. Activates ability only time you could cast a sorcery. So it's fantastic. It's basically a bolt on a land. And it combines that with a discard effect as well. So it's brilliant because it can't be interacted with. You play this as your land. They basically bypass it. A lot of my opponents have forgotten that I have this on the field. And it's brilliant because it basically reads your opponent has 3 less life in the late game, because this is what you want. You want your opponent's life to be as low as possible in black-red aggro strategies, because you're just attacking and hoping for the best. It's a very linear strategy, but I feel like if you tune into my streams, you will see the awesomeness that is the Bloodsky Massacre deck that I've built, and I absolutely love it, and it contends with so many different deck types. Yeah, so it's basically a bolt that cannot be interacted with, and the only bolt that we have at the moment is Frostbite. So you need the snow mana to be able to sort of fuel that, whereas with this you don't need that. It is very much a mid to late game strategy, and if you have 4 of these in your deck, you can rely on the redundancy that you can draw into these. There's a lot of draw spells in the deck, like discard a card, draw 2 cards. I think it was Thriller Possibility is in there. I'll go into deck tech in more detail later, but you can basically get a lot of damage in on your opponents that they cannot interact with Immersturm Skullcairns, which is why I absolutely love it. Because sometimes in sort of mid to late game with Rakdos Aggro, you will get a point where you can't punch holes through anymore. You can't get through their sort of Elder Gargaroths and massive creatures and stuff. There is removal in the deck, but obviously there is going to become a point where your small aggro-y creatures cannot punch through the wall, but Immersturm Skullcairn punches the wall through for you, and also makes them discard a card. So again, it's interactive in that sense as well. So it's just a great card in general for Rakdos Black and Red, I just love that it cannot be interacted with, and if you're putting 4 of these in your deck, you can guarantee that there is 12 damage in your deck somewhere that cannot be interacted with. Albeit it does take a while to do, but I have had some grindy games where this has done. I've sacrificed 2 Immersturm Skullcairns, and they've had to discard 2 cards and lose 6 life as a result. It's just one of those things that will help Rakdos Black and Red in the late game. So I don't really know what this card is depicting here, as regards to the actual phenomenon of the Skullcairn. Let's read a bit more. So there are blood crags in Immersturm. So the blood crag is a volcano deep in the Black Mountains of Immersturm. No lava bubbles in its caldera. Instead, it's seized with blood. For the blood crag is the source of all demons. Every time a demon slaughters a non-demonic creature, the victim's blood is magically transferred to the blood crag. When the seething gore of the demon's conquest reach the tip of the lip of the caldera, a new demon emerges. However, the runic wards that trap the demons in this realm make the new victims scarce, and no new demons have emerged from the blood crag in many years. So that's a cool bit of flavour. Every time a demon kills a non-demonic creature, a new demon gets born from the blood of the creatures that they've killed, which is cool. But no demons have emerged from the blood crag in many years. So maybe we will see one, maybe, at some point. When we go back to Kaldheim, because let's be honest, Kaldheim was massive success. But yeah, I just wanted to share my love for this land, really. And you can come to expect videos like this where I'll just ramble on about one card. But I hope that you see the benefit in it, and definitely make sure you like, share and subscribe, and click a little bell notification on my channel to get notified of when I do go live, when I do stream this deck, because Immersturm Skullcairn, you will see how beneficial it is in that sort of strategy. So thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.